Hello and welcome to the Carbon Copy podcast Running Out of Time special. I'm Isabel Sparrow and today's episode is coming from the Trent Valley Way Relay, a fantastic event that took place in the city of Stoke-on-Trent yesterday as part of the bigger climate relay. As the official podcast of Running Out of Time, Carbon Copy is bringing you episodes throughout this extraordinary people-powered event. Check out our first 6 to hear inspiring climate action stories from Scotland, Yorkshire and North West England, and subscribe to ensure you don't miss what's still to come. Our producer Brad went along to the event in Stoke yesterday, and I caught up with him as he waited for the baton to arrive at the Stoke City FC stadium. So Brad, you arrived at Stoke earlier this morning and you're just getting ready to welcome the relay baton to where you are. Where are you at the moment?
So currently I'm just stood at the back of my car. But yeah, we're right next to the stadium. As people are starting to arrive now. I've just had a lovely chat with Ruth Needham from Trent Rivers Trust. So there's people starting to arrive now. And yeah, they should be coming through in the next 10-15 minutes, I think.
Obviously, today's like a special mini relay around the city of Stoke. And did she talk about what that's all about, like why they're doing it?
Yeah, so the impression that I got from Ruth is basically that she's really working hard to try and get local people connected and involved with the local river systems. Because at the moment, everything's basically been built in a way so that it's not very good for flooding, and it also means that there's a lot of development right next to the rivers, so people don't actually get proper access to the river. So part of her job is basically they're going to be building a footpath through the whole of the River Trent, with the idea that if people can connect to it, then they can find it more important, and then they can find out more about what's going on with our water systems, particularly around pollution and things like that. So a lot of her work seems to be around that. So I think really the reason that they've partnered up with the relay is to sort of start building that connection with the rivers, particularly around Stoke and the River Trent. And the relay is basically almost following the path of the river. So it's kind of starting that work already of people connecting with the river. And hopefully that will build into a stronger relationship further down the line in the future.
And are Stoke City FC involved in this at all? Because obviously it's happening at the stadium or next to the stadium. Is there anyone from the club there?
So yeah, apparently the team's mascot is meant to be turning up later in support. I think they were kind of making a statement that they sort of care about these things as well, particularly around the rivers side of things, which is why they've let this event happen here. They're letting access to the building. Obviously we're not inside the stadium today, but we have full access outside. So yeah, I guess we'll see what happens.
If you could grab an interview with the mascot, that would be fantastic.
I will try my best. It might not have many words, but we'll see.
I'm looking forward to hearing how it goes for the rest of the day. And enjoy.
I'll check in with you later on.
Thanks, Brad. Let's hear that chat with Ruth from Trent Rivers Trust now.
Hi, my name is Ruth Needham. I am Head of Landscape and Partnership at the Trent Rivers Trust. So my role is really to support the team to deliver projects that do benefits for people, for wildlife and for water. All of our projects have got some connection with a local river, a small river or a big river, and the rain that falls to create that river. And my role is to reach out to people to make them aware of what projects and what opportunities there are for us all to work together to enhance our rivers. We're looking to create rivers to be in a much more naturalised state so that they can provide benefits to the environment and provide benefits for wildlife and help us to mitigate some of the impacts of climate change.
What is the current state of things, particularly in the UK, and also why are rivers important?
So rivers in their natural state, they flood out into the floodplain, they support lots of different habitats, they can trap pollution and they can provide a whole corridor and range of habitats for a whole range of different species. However, over hundreds of years, we have straightened and drained our rivers and developed in our floodplains. So many rivers now, particularly ones in the Midlands and any low-lying area, have been heavily modified. A lot of the rivers and the drainage channels themselves have been straightened so that they allow the water to flow downstream as quickly as possible to get it off the land. So not only does this cause flooding downstream, but it also removes a lot of the potential for wildlife and biodiversity within the catchment. So previously, our river catchments would have been like a big sponge, where water would have fallen onto the land, created habitats, biodiversity, and gently seeped into the ground and then into the river. What we've done is we've actually paved or compacted a lot of the surface layers of our catchments, creating almost like a paving slab where the water just washes straight off into the river. So that's a big problem for our rivers. There has been a lot of effort to improve them over the years. The emphasis has shifted over the last 15, 20 years. Political emphasis have changed. There are some pockets of river habitat that are amazing, but it's not necessarily the norm, and it's not actually the norm across a lot of the Trent.
So we're in Stoke, right? Tell me a little bit about the work that you did specifically in this area.
The work we're doing today and over the next year or so is all around the Trent Valley Way. This is a long-distance walk that the Trent Rivers Trust is promoting from the source of the Trent up in the Staffordshire moorlands all the way through Stoke, Staffordshire, past Leicestershire, Derbyshire, Nottinghamshire, and the route goes along the valley, ending at the Humber estuary, where the river flows into the North Sea. So in Stoke particularly, we've got a grant from the Levelling Up Fund, so we're working closely with Stoke City Council to create a footpath along the River Trent through the city, which is involving working with the city council, with landowners, with businesses, with community groups to make this footpath safe, accessible, waymarked, and promoted, so that the people of Stoke know where the River Trent flows and they know where the Trent Valley Way goes, and they might be more likely to go out and explore the river and explore their local area. So we've got 3 legs of the Running Out of Time event coming through Stoke on 3 different legs of the Trent Valley Way. We're starting at the top end of the Trent where it comes into the city. That's at Norton Green. The first team is walking to Hanley Park, which is a park in the city right by the River Trent. The second leg is from Hanley Park to where we are now, which is the stadium, the Bet365 stadium. And then the last leg is going to be from this stadium down to Wedgwood. So it's following broadly the route of the Trent through the city and the Trent Valley Way. So it's a really nice opportunity to share some of our aspirations for the river and the city with the Running Out of Time team.
What a fantastic way of helping to connect local people with the river. If you'd like to find out more about Trent Rivers Trust, or even to get involved as a volunteer, you can find links in the show notes to more information. Next up, Brad caught up with Lis Gibbs, who's been involved with the Trent Valley Way project and had just finished her first leg of the relay.
So you did the first bit of the leg today, so tell us some more about that.
Today we started running at Norton Green, which is just on the sort of northern edge of the city of Stoke. It was absolutely lovely run we had today. We started out along a footpath and then we went down onto the towpath of the Caldon Canal. And this is part of the route that will form part of the Trent Valley Way that we're working on, that we want to mark up for people. And it was just absolutely lovely. I was really surprised, so pleasantly surprised with how rural it felt, even though we were running in towards the city. It was absolutely lovely, just rolling hills, lovely countryside, really, really pretty. And always, I think everyone benefits from being close to water. And we know now that has huge mental health benefits for people as well as physical benefits, obviously. So it was absolutely lovely. I always enjoy running near water. And then we came to the bottle kilns. So obviously Stoke has a long history connected with the potteries and the pottery industry. We were lucky enough today to be running with 2 local people who knew a lot about the pottery industry. And the chap that we were running with, Phil, he used to work in the pottery industry. So when we stopped at some of the bottle kilns that have been preserved, they told us all about them, which was really fascinating. I think another real benefit of today's relay is finding out about the local history of places as well. It's just been fascinating.
So what made you want to get involved with the relay in the first place?
I think there are several reasons, really. I mean, obviously, this is the Running Out of Time relay. And Certainly climate considerations are really important to me. And I think that sometimes everyone can feel, you can get that kind of feeling of powerlessness when you think about the huge problems that the planet faces, and you think, oh my gosh, how can I do anything to help with that? But something like the Running Out of Time Relay is just a really good way in which you can feel like you're getting involved and doing something positive. You meet people, so it feels like a really good community thing to do as well. But also it just makes you feel like you're doing something to raise awareness of the fact that we know we have got to do something, and we've got to really try and get our decision makers to sit up and take notice. Anything that we can all do to do that is really important and really powerful. So I would say to anyone who feels powerless, you can make a difference. Get involved in something like this and you will feel like you are making a difference. And that's what we've all got to do to try and compel our leaders to take better positive action for the climate and the planet.
Nice. So obviously you're not done with the running today. You've got the last bit of the leg to go. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, thanks for reminding me. I'll be setting off again quite soon. Do you know what? It feels great. I'm really looking forward to running the next leg, and we're finishing at World of Wedgwood for the next leg. So I think there will be more interesting history to learn about Stoke's industrial past when we get there. And obviously here today, I'm talking to you from outside the Bet365 Stadium, and it's been fantastic to meet Craig here, who is the community coordinator here. He's been so helpful to us, and that's just been actually symptomatic of the kind of people that we've met in Stoke, because I don't think I've ever been to a city that has been so welcoming with such a community feel about it. Everyone's been brilliant. So no wonder the football club has such a good fan base.
Nice. Well, good luck with your next run, and hopefully you have a restful rest of the Sunday. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Brad caught up with Craig, who Liz just mentioned, to ask him more about his work supporting the community in the city.
My name's Craig Chorlton. I'm the Business Development Manager of Stoke City Community Trust, which is the official charity of Stoke City Football Club. One of the integral parts from our point of view is to get involved with as many local organisations and charitable trusts to basically support the community of Stoke-on-Trent. So we thought it was really important when we were approached by Trent Rivers Trust to get involved in the relay event and have the ground as somewhere as a focal point for one of those checkpoints. We thought that was really important. So a lot of our programmes that we run in the week and in school time are based around from the age of 5 through to 95. So a lot of our work is around sustainability, working with both the fan base, the local community and all the schools, and making sure we can make an impact with that. So yeah, it's important to us.
Nice. So can you tell me a little bit like what's actually going to be happening today then? So obviously we're right outside the front of the stadium now. What's going to be going on?
So we just come along, we've put our support banners up here, we've brought along our club mascot, Hippopotamus, so Hippo's here. There's a chance for the children or any adults to take some penalties. He was just raising awareness and supporting the guys at the Trent Rivers Trust. And we think this, obviously, the relay event's really important to the city, and that's why we want to play a part in it. Obviously, people relate to us as a football club, but we currently run probably 160 to 170 sessions a week in the local community, either from the club or within the community itself. So there's a big focus on health and well-being. We do a lot of work called Active Potters, where we get the fans of the community in to help them with nutrition and health-based exercises. Chair-based exercises as well. We work with the likes of dementia groups. We also work with the Stroke Association on things like that. We've got a big focus, obviously, on our 0 to 19 provision. So we're working in Primary Stars, which is our Premier League Primary Stars contract that we work with schools, helping around education. A lot of work in the city around ASB and mentoring as well. So we offer a lot of work for both schools and youth groups. One of the big phases at the moment, after the success of Luke Littler with the darts, we're running clubs where we're teaching the children to play darts, pool, in a safe space to keep them occupied in the evenings and try and get them on the right path of the careers as well. So we give them careers advice. There's a multitude of delivery that we do. A lot of soccer schools. We really concentrate on our holiday and food programmes, working in partnership with both the County Council and the Hub Foundation, making sure that the children are aware of both nutrition, are well fed, and we put a range of enrichment activities and sporting activities. So we're more than a football club. We work extremely close with the football club, but we're out there looking after the fan base week after week and the local community as well. So the range of delivery that we do, it's quite empowering, because I think sometimes people just think it is a football club, but this football club and the community trust try to give back as much as they can to the local community.
Finally, in this episode, Brad met up with Running Out of Time co-founder Dan Thompson, who had just completed his first leg of this year's event.
So have you been doing any running yourself?
No, today was my first run. So I've been watching the relay for the first 10 days from my desk, dealing with, I don't know, 3,000 or 4,000 emails a day coming in about the relay, watching it on social media. So just from a personal perspective, a buzz to have finally done my first relay leg of 2024.
And how was it? Was it particularly tough, or was it quite chill?
It was a lovely flat leg, let's say, along the Trent. Really nice, knowledgeable people on the leg. So we talked about football, of course. We talked about potteries. We talked about rivers. Yeah, it's beautiful.
It sounds like an absolutely brilliant day, really epitomising everything this relay is about: people, climate, nature and sport. If you feel inspired by what you've heard and would like to participate in the relay, there's still time to sign up to a leg. Check out the link in the show notes. Thanks so much to all the people we spoke to in Stoke-on-Trent, and thanks to you for listening. The Carbon Copy podcast is written and presented by me, Isabel Sparrow. Our producer and editor is Bradley Ingham. We have another exciting relay special episode for you tomorrow, so until then, goodbye.